To everyone else, this is a desk. But to you, it's a launch pad. Your starting block. This ain't a desk. This is opportunity.
Students who switch and save can get the Moto G 5G on us at your local Boost retailer.
The Boost mobile network includes roaming coverage from partner networks, which cover 99% of the U.S. population. Moto G 5G on us when you switch with ID verification and new $60 plan activation. Taxes extra. All prices, fees, features, functionality, and other offers are subject to change without notice. See participating dealers for details.
Hey, Prime members. Are you tired of ads interfering with your favorite podcasts? Good news. With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcasts. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
This podcast is brought to you by eHarmony, the dating app to find someone you can be yourself with. Why doesn't eHarmony allow copy and paste in first messages? Because you are unique, and your conversations should reflect that. eHarmony wants you to find someone who will get you. How are you going to know who gets you? If people send you the same generic conversation starters they message everyone else. Conversations that actually help you get to know each other. Imagine that. Get who gets you on eHarmony. Sign up today.
Hello, this is Tess, and I'm a therapist.
And this is Brooke, and I'm an attorney.
We are sisters and the hosts of the Psych Legal Pop podcast, where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist.
We cover reality TV shows like Sister Wives, Love is Blind, Housewives, and anything true crime related.
We use our expertise in law and psychology to break down the shows and cases everyone is talking about.
And since we're Gen Xers, we love to talk about any TV, movies, or topics with a Gen X angle.
So please check us out at Psych Legal Pop, wherever you get your podcasts. We also have a Patreon if you want more pop culture content, plus our Gen X ramblings. You can find us on patreon.com/Psych Legal Pop podcast.
Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly. And we are back again with Welcome to Plathville, Season 6, Episode 7, I Was Born on Highway 111.
Nobody said that in this episode, though, did they? This was just the birthing story that we got. Lydia's origin story. We went a little too far back, though.
I guess it's entirely possible that Lydia mentioned it, but we just didn't clock it because I don't know that I always hear a lot of things Lydia says.
There was a point in the episode where I was ignoring Lydia as much as everyone else in the family was.
I will say, 10 out of 10, better episode than last week.
Huge improvement. We actually had some drama. You know what it is? Kim and Barry. Kim's back.
Kim rented a dunk tank.
You can't top that.
No.
It's hard to top that.
I wanted to throw a ball.
I would pay $5 for a ball. The bummer is, well, we'll get to it. We'll talk about it when we get there. In the meantime, we've got the TLC episode description for this one. Kim and Barry deal with the frustration of a drawn-out divorce. Back in L.A., Olivia shares with her friend where things went wrong with Ethan and what she's looking for in her next relationship. Ethan and Micah return to Cairo to help throw a surprise birthday party for Lydia.
I'm not sure what happened there, but you went a little Owen Wilson on the first sentence.
It comes out here and there.
You think you could do like another sentence? Just give it to us full Owen Wilson?
With Kim and Barry?
Oh, I don't. I was going to say I don't care whichever one.
Kim and Barry deal with their frustrations. I don't know. I can't do it when it's forced. I can't force it.
I'll just let you do it naturally at some point in the episode.
It comes out. There's certain phrases, the things that.
That's going to be a new rumor, that you're also Owen Wilson.
Maybe. Yeah. It's just the longer the podcasts go, the more people we become, I think.
Right? Because at this point, you are also Dr. Adam from the Sister Wife Professor and Ace.
From Ace and Caitlin. Yeah, Ace and Caitlin. It's.
I'm going to tell you, that's a lot of work.
That's too much work for me.
Too many podcasts. You ready for my rewrite?
Let's hear it.
Kim and Barry do their best to one-up each other at Lydia's birthday party. Olivia has a one-night stand and buys some cheap wigs. The kids each take a shot at Mama Plath.
I feel like there were a few kids who missed out on it.
Did the little girls not go?
I don't think they did.
They don't have
Maybe they don't have the arm strength for it.
I don't know. I think that they're more at the right height, just naturally.
I was still waiting for somebody to just run up and punch the button, too.
Barry.
Mostly Barry.
All right. Before we jump into the episode, we do have some announcements. Let's start off with the many events happening on Instagram over the past week.
Recent development on Mama Plath's Instagram. She has wiped that sucker clean.
All the posts are gone. Now, I'm going to say, let's all relax because we know, this is something we've seen Gypsy Rose do multiple times at this point, and all of a sudden the posts come back.
Sometimes you got to scrub it. You got to scrub your internet presence every once in a while.
Maybe it's like a big PR thing for
her album release.
no one cares about. Nobody's reporting on.
She sure hasn't scrubbed her Spotify in a while.
Oh, man. I bet you it's related to people leaving comments like that. So...
Sorry.
Whoops. Can't wait to see the music video, though. All right. The other Instagram, this is a new one that popped up. At Veronica Plath.
But don't jump to conclusions. What, do you think they're married already or something? Even though they keep saying it every episode? They're not, okay?
So what is this? Apparently it's a joint account between Veronica and Micah.
See, she's the Veronica part of the Veronica name. And then Micah is the Plath part of the username. See what they did there? They smashed them together.
They might be smashing other things together.
Oh, well, that's part of it.
Let's find out. Maybe they get married at the end of the season.
Man, I don't like that. I don't like where that's going.
So you can go over there. I have a feeling it has to do with her being concerned about the DMs he gets from girls, even though he does have still his other Instagram. That one's not gone. It's mostly his modeling pictures, though. So
he just promised that he was going to sign out of that one and not use that anymore.
Maybe she changed the password.
Oh, yeah. She's going to have to ask Lydia, hey, what's the safest password I can go with? Lydia has access to the family computer.
That's how she got in there.
That's how.
Saved that password. She was like, delete. Their relationship seems fun.
We're reaching all of those milestones that just get us closer and closer to full-on oppression and then just eventual separation. We're getting there.
Yeah, the joint Instagram account is never a good sign.
Joint YouTube accounts, though, I can get behind that. So make sure you swing on over to our YouTube channel at Surviving Pod. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Our goal is 500. We're almost at 100 right now, so we're already making our way through that. And if you like what you're hearing, be sure to swing on over to patreon.com/survivingpod and sign up for our Patreon. We got a bunch of bonus episodes.
And we've made some changes over there. You can now sign up any day of the month, and you will not be billed until that anniversary 30 days later.
That's kind of a weird way to say it, but
it is.
I think that makes sense.
You know, I feel like they need to give us a talking point on how to explain that a little better.
Well, so it used to be whatever day you signed up for, you would get billed immediately, and then you would also be billed on the first of the month.
Regardless of the day that you signed up.
Every month after that. So now that's done away with. It's just whatever day you sign up, you get billed that day, and then you won't get billed again for another 30 days. So it just makes it easier. Should simplify that and streamline that process for everybody.
Are you ready? Are you ready for it?
I guess we're going to go. Yeah. Are we going to take this chronologically, or do we just want to split up the Olivia bits?
Oh, you're throwing that at me. Let's start with Olivia. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's be real. Olivia's segments of the show are boiled down to someone from Central Casting has showed up to talk to her for a little bit.
Or a family member. Pick and choose.
All right.
Which one? Who's it going to be?
Lydia Grace is coming to get her Applebee's gift card for filming.
Must be.
Well, we're starting off with Lily, the girl she met on the plane. She's back here again.
From Minnesota.
I think you just butchered that.
Minneapolis, St. Paul.
There you go. She is here to watch Olivia make tiramisu and drink wine. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's not a bad evening.
And she brought a dog, so even better.
Puppy, puppy, puppy. I'm all about the dogs.
So far, Olivia's life, vast improvement.
She's reaching that point in her divorce where she is remembering the things that she used to like and enjoy before they were absolutely demolished by the horrible person that she married.
I gotta say, the more we hear from Ethan and hear about Ethan, the more I continue to dislike him, so we're going to go hard. I know their relationship is over, but I'm still bitter about it.
Olivia seems like she's over it pretty much right out the gate here, even though, like we said, she's still processing through this at this time too, but she's moved on pretty quick by most people's standards.
Has she, though? Because Lily's asking her a seemingly innocent question, like, so do you like to bake? She's just trying to get to know her friend. And that leads into, yeah, I used to bake a lot when I was young, and then I got married, and my husband expected these things of me, so then it sucked all the joy out of it, but now I'm rediscovering it again.
I'm really coming back around to this whole baking idea. She's got some baking trauma.
Is making tiramisu baking?
I don't really fully understand the process of making tiramisu.
No, I don't
in the way
either.
that she was, so I can't speak to it with any sort of confidence.
There were a lot of little cups.
She was dishing them out, and then you have to wait for them to kind of congeal as part of the process. If it's not mock tapioca pudding, you lost me. It's lost on me.
We have to watch that flashback footage to Ethan telling her last season how, she doesn't cook enough and that she should really start doing that because cooking 3 meals a day is one of the only keys to a man's heart.
And don't get it twisted, because Olivia can cook, okay? There's this main misconception now that she is unable to cook, but she just didn't like being expected to cook and then being demanded that this is something that happens. So it's more of the control aspect that she doesn't like.
I think that's a common theme in her life.
Seems to be. But yeah, because this was also, it just brought up the memory too from a few seasons ago in the earlier seasons when, you remember when Olivia was going on a photo shoot? So she was going to work. She was traveling for work and she was leaving for like a week. And Ethan was asking her where all his meals are going to be.
Yes. And she had to make him sandwiches because he didn't know how to even make lunch.
She had to make a week's worth of meals for Ethan so he wouldn't starve while she was out on a gig getting paid to do this stuff. So it's like, if she's earning for the family, I think you should probably take on the responsibility of feeding yourself so you don't die.
Well, how about just being an adult human being and being able to make sure that you feed yourself so that you don't starve to death?
In general.
And even though he would have made it a week, he would have been okay.
Yeah, he would have been all right. If he was still hitting the gym the way that he does now, he might have passed out once or twice, a couple times.
What is that called again? It's incompetence, where they're pretending to be incompetent.
Weaponized incompetence.
Weaponized incompetence, that's what that is. You know how to put a piece of cheese between 2 pieces of bread.
You could buy a pack of hot dogs and just grill those things. You just got to heat them up, man. You don't even have to do anything else.
Well, Lily's got to listen to this, and even she's got the ick. She hasn't even met this man, and she's having to listen to these stories secondhand, and she's like, he sounds pretty disgusting.
She hasn't seen the show, but she's getting the idea. Maybe, I almost called him Micah.
Cut from the same cloth.
Maybe Ethan is not the best.
That's enough of talking about Ethan. What's the future looking like? We're starting to date. How's that been going? And we get a little story from Olivia. She went on, did she say this was her first official post-divorce date?
Correct. She's been on a few dates, but her first one out there in the wild.
She learned some important lessons.
Well, she learned some lingo, because I guess this dude was talking about his cat all night, and when he was inviting her back to his place to meet his cat, I think it was because he wanted to meet Olivia's cat, too.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
I hated that.
Yep.
I hated that.
Yeah, pretty much.
So she thought that she was going back just to have a friendly encounter with this kitten. And instead
it was a full-grown cat. It was an adult cat.
I call every dog a puppy.
Okay.
I guess I'll call every cat a kitten. I'm not going to say that word again. I mean, you made me feel uncomfortable saying cat again, let's be honest. That's why I didn't say it.
Really?
Yes.
Is that what did it?
That's what did it.
I'm sorry, kitty cat. Are you out of your mind?
So she did meet the cat briefly before she got plowed.
Oh, wow. It happened quickly, apparently, because she did not have much time to interact with the cat.
It escalated.
She was being swept into the bedroom. So that's it. She got dicked down. We broke the seal, as Lydia Grace mentioned.
No, I think it was Lily. Didn't Lily suggest that?
Oh, maybe it was last week at Pilates.
Thank God we didn't have to watch that again. No one worked out in this episode. Isn't that the true miracle?
That's a big improvement.
It made me feel better watching it.
There was a feat of strength at the end of the episode with the dunk tank, but...
I thought you were literally referring to the feet because we're going to get to that.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah, that
I've
too.
had enough of Mama Plath's feet this season.
No mas, please.
That experience, though, made Olivia realize dating in LA, not really for her.
The one night stand, not Kim's feet in the dunk tank, to clarify. The weird part here is that it seems like Olivia is excited about dating, but then also she's kind of stuck on one guy, too.
Yes.
But she's not trying to say that she is stuck on one guy, but it seems like she's kind of clinging to, she wants this to be a relationship, but she doesn't want to jump into a relationship.
Yeah, it was weird because she was talking about how she doesn't want to date in LA anymore, but then she tells us that she's already met somebody, that there's this guy who's long distance, they've been talking, and she's not really sure where it's going to go.
Maybe she's doing the Veronica method because she gets wild when she's on the road because basically she doesn't want to date anybody in LA, don't want any flings with people in LA that she might run into on a daily basis. So she's keeping it wild on the road when she's out and about.
I don't think that LA is this small little community where you're likely to cross paths with someone that you had a one-night stand with.
It ain't Cairo, but she thinks it is. So she's worried about that. That's fine. You do you, boo. But I think she got a little wild on the one trip, and now she's kind of fixating on this fella. Sounds like Veronica. This is all I'm saying. This sounds like the Veronica method.
Do we might get into Lydia Grace visiting? Because that's really the only other thing that happens this episode with Olivia. So her sister comes to visit in LA, which I just wrote, sigh. I'm not interested in Lydia Grace.
Well, did Lydia Grace come to visit, or did Jackie come to visit?
Oh, yeah. Jackie and Larissa.
It was Jackie, and Larissa was there to greet her.
They're taking this fake identity thing for going out to the bar a little too seriously.
When Olivia is Larissa E.
That's for you 90-day people. That's, let's not forget Larissa.
But she went all out on the wigs.
A lot. She ordered a lot of wigs, not high quality wigs.
I was going to say in quantity, not in quality.
A lot of unique colors, different cuts, a lot of bangs. I guess that's fun rather than committing to cutting your bangs. That's a mistake, ladies, especially after ending a relationship.
Yeah, this was the Zooey Deschanel collection. It was on clearance, multicolored, all bangs.
They're trying these on, and then what? I'm like, what happened in this segment? They're trying wigs on. They're talking about being Larissa E. and Jackie.
Yes, we get another glimpse into
what it was like to live behind doors with Ethan Plath.
How terrible it was to be in a marriage with Ethan Plath, where Olivia thought of herself as a resilient person for a while. She didn't realize how worn down she had become in this relationship until she took a good, long, hard look at herself in the mirror. So towards the end of their marriage, she was still trying to gain the affections of Ethan Plath. So she would do her makeup up nice and get dressed up and ask him if she was pretty. And his answer was, "You have 11 piercings on your head." And then he walked out of the room. Not a typical response. Not one you'd
Not
be
what
used
she
to.
was looking for.
Not the intended response.
Also, okay, so she has her nose pierced. And then what? She has 5 piercings in each ear? He took the time to count them all?
Does she have an eyebrow? Any lips?
No.
No?
Are you watching the same show, Corey?
Well, she doesn't have them all in at the same time when we're filming, probably. Is that what's happening? Is Ethan counting the hole as...
Well, be careful where you're going with that.
11 piercings on your head. Yeah, I don't think you mentioned the holes in her head.
Long story short, he sucks.
Olivia don't need no man to tell her that she's pretty. Not anymore. She has a box full of wigs. She knows she's pretty.
And that's where we're going to leave Olivia. What do we think about this? Does she contribute anything to the show anymore?
Well, she's lying to her sister because her sister's asking her, "Hey, what are you looking for in this dating thing?" She's like, I don't know. Just keeping it casual.
Except for with this one person.
Meanwhile, she is so dead set on getting with this one dude who she seems to be wanting a relationship with. Why are you afraid to say that? Just say that. There's somebody I've got my eye on.
Corey, she's traumatized from being married to Ethan, so she's just waiting for this man to disappoint her. That's what's happening. She's going to wait to talk about it until she feels more comfortable, till she's gotten beyond the phase of realizing, okay, maybe there's not something wrong with him.
She's feeling the attraction. She's feeling that general draw, but it's nothing official. We don't want to get too involved in it. We'll see how it plays out.
To everyone else, this is a desk. But to you, it's a launch pad. Your starting block. This ain't a desk. This is opportunity.
Students who switch and save can get the Moto G 5G on us at your local Boost retailer.
The Boost mobile network includes roaming coverage from partner networks, which cover 99% of the U.S. population. Moto G 5G on us when you switch with ID verification and new $60 plan activation. Taxes extra. All prices, fees, features, functionality, and other offers are subject to change without notice. See participating dealers for details.
Hey, Prime members, are you tired of ads interfering with your favorite podcasts? Good news. With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free podcasts. That's amazon.com/ad-free podcasts to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Let's chat the Plaths.
Well, the Plaths.
This episode opened with Kim and Barry exchanging the girlses, which is now my favorite thing to watch happen because it's just making me feel so comforted. It's like watching Teen Mom back in the day.
I'm surprised they didn't have somebody else there, a neutral third party. Well, the cameras were there. So, yeah, we know that sometimes the handoffs on Teen Mom,
they don't go so well.
Well, that's where the trouble can be.
Well, that's why she didn't bring Ken, because when she brings Ken, they don't go well. So instead, we're at a neutral space at a park somewhere in Tallahassee.
At least it wasn't a Wawa, right, Kale?
Some people got that.
Uh-oh.
So the girls are going back and forth between them every week, which sounds like a great plan for creating stability in your children's lives.
Do you know how much I loved that Kim described it as it's kind of like a 1 week on, 1 week off sort of scenario?
I know you took that like she's been going on vacation on week 2.
Well, it's like she's on duty and then she's off duty because it's Mum Springa every other week, baby.
Well, it's on the boat and then off the boat.
That too.
Do you think the girls go to Ken's or do they stay on the boat? Or they just film on the boat?
They film on the boat.
So that they don't crush Lydia's view of the entire world.
Yeah, I don't think Lydia would be able to handle that information.
So the girls are sitting off in the distance on a picnic table and they're giggling, watching Kim and Barry across this field because they're wondering, are they arguing? What are they talking about? And then Cassia said something that disturbed me.
Well, they are imagining what the conversation is taking place from afar. And when there was joking argument about who's taking the girlses,
it was like, I don't want them. Are you going to take them? You don't want them? Who's going to take them? It wasn't fighting over who gets them because they both want them. It's who gets them because neither of them want them.
And I don't know how much fiction was involved in that. They are just giggling like they're from the Feywild.
Didn't understand the reference.
It's a D&D thing. Never mind.
Oh, well, there you go. Why would I understand that?
Like wood
that's
nymphs,
for some people out there.
They're just, it's like little
fairies.
Fairy cherub babies that just incessantly laugh. It bothers me.
I know it does. It's disturbing. The conversation between Kim and Barry, it's awkward. It was hard to watch, even though Kim says she doesn't feel awkward around Barry. It was weird energy.
It's not awkward, but it definitely ain't comfortable.
No, and that's because of the tension, not the sexual tension. The tension because they haven't signed their divorce papers yet. That's the unspoken thing between them.
There were so many staged shots because I don't think that Kim and Barry, well, I hope that they didn't just stare across the field at the girls' laughing and giggling on the picnic table for extended durations that we saw in some of these shots. That would be weird.
I think that's very Kim and Barry.
To say that it's not awkward and then have that happen where there's just minutes of silence where you're just staring off into the distance, standing next to each other.
Well, what else are they going to talk about? The only other piece of small talk that they have is talking about the girls' schoolwork, and then what they really wanted to get to. The reason that they're reuniting today, it's not because of the handoff of these children. It's to prove that they were right the entire time about Ethan and Olivia's relationship.
But you have to be careful how you bring up these delicate topics because sometimes Barry will retreat into turtle mode. So you have to be careful here. But they do want to take a moment to celebrate Ethan's divorce together because they've worked so hard on this for so long.
Right. They aren't on the same page about much, but throwing Olivia under the bus, that's something that they can still come together on.
Mission accomplished there.
This was not a surprise at all to them. They saw all of the red flags very early on in the marriage, but they're good parents, so they didn't say anything about it. They kept it to themselves, and they let them figure it out. Except for all the times that they told Olivia that she was possessed, that she was using the wrong toothpaste.
She was a garbage person.
That maybe she had some character flaws that she was overlooking.
Blind spots. You know, just little stuff like that. But that's just family talk. Constructive criticism.
It's not getting involved in their business or their relationship.
Not at all. So then we start going tit for tat, where Barry and Kim start comparing their level of involvement with Ethan now, because Barry has to subtly mention that, well, he talks to Ethan on a pretty regular basis now because they're both suffering through divorces. So they have this kind of bond there where they're talking at least once a month.
He's got lots of advice that he's sharing with him.
It's pretty regular conversation. It's pretty intense stuff.
You are so right. These two people are so petty. And the root of this conversation is petty. But then they can't help themselves but to throw barbs at each other as they're trying to discuss this thing that they actually do agree on.
So then Kim has to outdo that, and she relishes in the fact that when Ethan came to visit her at her houseboat, he gave her a huge hug, the biggest hug.
So it's like all better now. We're working on it.
Well, it just
making
means,
strides.
Yeah, it just means that Ethan is finally desperate enough for some sort of connection between the two of them that he will turn a blind eye to everything that you've done to him previously, at least for the time being. So that's a win for Kim.
I will say, I think that this interaction, a lot of people won't have taken that away from it. They would have felt like this was a genuine conversation between these two people. But there is something subtly covert about the way that they talk to each other.
I was waiting for Kim to take full responsibility for why Barry and Ethan are conversing on a regular basis, because she is the one who's divorcing Barry, which gives him common ground with Ethan and forms the baseline for their connection.
You only have a reason to talk because of me.
We were one step away from Kim saying that. She might have thought it, but she knew better than to say it on camera.
Barry's saying he's happy that things are getting better between Kim and Ethan because he needs a mother's love, yada, yada. Also because it's pulling him back into the Plath family web, and that's where they want him to be.
So things are going great there.
We have to talk a little bit, though, about what was that interview footage of Barry with no glasses on? And I'm not sure what happened to his hair.
It went away.
Did it, though?
Yeah.
But it was it was just a bad haircut. He already has been missing some hair on the top of his head. That has not changed.
The remaining hair was the problem in question.
Yeah, I think it's just time. Let's commit. Let's go bald, Barry. And let's put the glasses back on.
Now you're sounding like Job from Arrested Development when he's trying to get with Kitty. Kitty! See, we're bringing it right back. Hair up, glasses on.
Oh, well, this was a good intro because Ethan is back in Cairo. We were just talking about him.
Yeah, we were at the Plath house with Micah, Lydia, Isaac, Ethan, and Amber in the kitchen there.
Amber has been upgraded. She's an older kid now. Have you noticed that? She films with the adult kids.
Well, she's working 3 jobs. She's got a busier schedule than Kim. So, yeah, I think we can call Amber an adult now.
Poor Lydia. She walks into this room and she's like, no one's going to remember my birthday, so I'm going to have to give them a reminder.
She is 19, turning 20.
We were wrong about that last week.
So we mistook this.
So this show needs to last one more season so we could see Lydia's 21st birthday.
Please give me a rager for Lydia's birthday, 21st birthday, with Mariah and Ethan taking her out to the bar.
Oh, please. She's going to drink 1 Mike's Hard Lemonade, She's going to laugh hysterically. She's going to vomit and fall asleep for the rest of the night.
That's true. That's exactly how it's going to go. Get her a Four Loko and a bottle. And a bottle of Mad Dog 2020.
You know what? We're going to put her in that business cash suit that Olivia had on. We're going to send her to the bar, get a Four Loko. We took a time machine.
Right. Yeah, exactly. After her Pilates class that afternoon.
So everyone's giving her a hard time because they're pretending that they didn't remember her birthday and that they already made plans. But they're only doing this for her own good because they've been secretly working together to plan a surprise party for her.
So as Micah describes it, we got to tear her down to build her up.
This was completely necessary, and he does not feel bad about it.
This is all planned. It's part of the better overall scheme of things. It's going to work eventually.
This was sad because it was so believable. They are trying to make us forget that their family didn't grow up celebrating birthdays. They don't want us to remember that.
Yeah, it's just all of a sudden, this is something that's been picked up now that we have to do to show that we've changed, I guess.
That we love and support one another. That we're just like your average family.
It's a big ask. There's a lot going on there. What was Lydia mentioning where she was basically saying it was her last day as a teenager and she needs to get it out of her system? What did she need to get out of her system? Aside from everything that she has bottled up.
Well, she hasn't really been a teenager, so we need to get the entirety of being a teenager out of her system. She's got to go fight with her mom.
Way ahead of you, yeah.
We got to go find some Mike's Hard Lemonades and hide them in the closet in the bedroom. We got to go to prom.
How would she culminate her teenage experience? Like, what would be the bow and the ribbon on top for her? I'm thinking like mini golf, like putt-putt. What's the thing that
she wants to go see a live action Disney film? That's exactly what she wants to do.
Disney on Ice in Cairo, Georgia?
I said Disney film.
Well, I said Disney on Ice.
All right. Well,
it's live action.
Well, they're busy trying to figure that out. They got to find out what plans fit whatever criteria Lydia was laying out here. But Micah is busy because his phone rang, and he better answer that thing stat because it's Veronica.
Evidence report.
Where is Poppy?
Where's Poppy?
That's exactly what is happening here. She is keeping track of his every move. If that phone goes to voicemail, she's going to be pissed. So he runs outside so that he can privately answer this phone call. And Ethan is laughing about how different this relationship is from his with Olivia.
Well, it's just how different because now it's Ethan and Isaac are the free ones. And Micah is the one who's tied down.
Yeah, they keep using that language. Like women are just so annoying to have to deal with that they consume all of your time and energy.
The burden of a wife, even though Micah and Veronica are not married.
No. There are a lot of red flags coming from her. This is one of them. Also, his response to having to run into the other room as quickly as possible.
And then subsequently taking the phone outside to continue the conversation. It looked like they were FaceTiming, though. He was doing hand gestures. She could see stuff. Of course. So she has to know.
She has to be able to visually see where he is and who he's with.
Well, this is what's confusing for Micah, because last week Veronica agreed to start filming so she could come to these family things. And then he was trying to get her to come to Lydia's birthday party here, and she wasn't able to. So now he still has to take these phone calls from afar. She's not there in the room with him to confirm that he's not having sex with anyone.
She is a realtor, though, and this is over the weekend, so that's a problem.
Peak hours.
It's when you're busiest.
Yeah.
She got to sell some mansions, bring home the dough, because we know Micah's just living on her couch right now.
It's not going to pay the bills. So we got a rainy day in Cairo, Georgia now. It is Sunday morning. Happy birthday, Lydia.
She waits for this every 7 years. She gets to have a birthday that falls on a Sunday so she could go to church before her birthday rager.
She was probably so excited to tell her, is it a youth pastor still? I don't know. She's might be in the young adults group.
100%.
She's still there.
Last day of being a teenager.
She's still there. Everybody gets to tell her happy birthday at church. It's like Jesus himself is telling her happy birthday.
She's on a fucking high.
But for Ethan, it's just Sunday morning coming down in that Johnny Cash sort of way. I know you don't know the tune. That's okay. That is for the super fans out there.
Everybody's playing it cool. They're going to let Lydia and Mercy go off to church. The rest of them are going to stay behind. Seems like maybe you could have gone to church for her birthday. I think she really would have liked that more than any other gift you could have given her.
But then that's going to blow the surprise. We have all these people who have to go get the pizza place ready.
She doesn't know Kim's in town.
Can you rely on Kim to set up all of the stuff? I didn't think she was setting anything up.
She kind of just wandered around.
She just was aimlessly meandering through the pizza place.
But before we get there, let's not get too far. Mariah and Ethan are left talking to each other at the kitchen table. I missed half this conversation because the audio was atrocious.
It was cell phone audio from the Mariah cam. She did not have a lav on. She just woke up. It's 9:30. She just rolled out of bed.
There were no cameras here?
There was one camera on Ethan, but I don't know. That might have been a cell phone camera too.
What is happening here? And they always caption Mariah, but they don't caption Ethan, and I couldn't hear what he was saying.
Maybe Blackjack ate her lav.
That's what happened? It's inside the dog?
It's a little muffled now.
It's in his intestine, and then that's what we're hearing, the residual sounds in the room?
Must be.
What I got from it was they were talking about setting Barry up on a date.
Yes, because at first they were kind of bonding over being single because those are the only two things that they could talk about. And then we got into the idea of it's hard enough for us to think about, Ethan dating and Mariah dating. Think about Barry dating. That's terrifying.
Ugh.
It started off scary, but then Ethan got the bright idea. Maybe it would be better to set him up with someone terrible first and then try to find somebody who's actually a good fit for him. Would it be funny or entertaining? I'm not sure what it would be. It'd be something, though.
Are they going to parent trap him? Is that what they're going to try to do here? They're going to try to set him up, maybe with Kim again.
Start him off with somebody terrible, so then he goes back to Kim.
A little Meredith Blake.
Get her lined up there. This is just evidence, irrefutable evidence, that the Plaths would be terrible matchmakers.
I want to see them do it, personally. Barry's not going to go date on his own. He's going to have to be pushed into it.
Let's get together. Yeah.
All right, luckily there's a downpour, so Kim was able to sail up to Cairo. And she has arrived at the party. Like you said, she's not really got a job to do. She's just supervising as everybody's setting up the party. There's a lot of ladders involved. This is at a pizza place with a very high ceiling.
Yeah, it's got a very industrial feel.
Very large room that they've rented out.
It's not your typical pizza place, though. I mean, we're not talking Chuck E. Cheese. That's where I spent my 21st birthday. Let me tell you.
Again, another thing I think Lydia would enjoy.
I think she would get a kick out of Chuck E. Cheese. So maybe she should save that for her 21st birthday.
I just want a pizza now. Something about that Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
The leftover Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
All right, well, what's the point of this? They're one big happy family.
Ethan is so glad that he's able to be part of this big happy family again. Great relationship with everyone, even though he hasn't addressed anything.
Oh, no, he has not even talked to Kim about the things that led them to the point that they were in their relationship. But it's amazing to not have to worry about Olivia's feelings anymore. So I can just do whatever I want, which is what he did before. That was part of the problem. But then there's no residual drama to deal with after that.
I don't think Ethan needs to be dating anybody.
No.
If that's the mentality that we have, if you are enjoying your freedom so much,
good.
And yeah, that's awesome. Stay single then, because that's not going to work in a relationship. If you're not going to take someone else's feelings into account, how are you going to be in a relationship?
Yeah, it's a great question. That was one of the big problems about being married to Olivia.
And just the blinders that he intentionally puts on about how great everything is. And he's so happy that he can be here for something like this because everything's so wonderful. When in the same breath, he's saying, I have a lot of stuff I need to talk to my mom about, but we're not going to worry about that today. I don't want to think about that stuff. Not today. That's a later thought.
Well, this is the type of environment that they love, where nobody's going to address anything that's wrong. We're just going to pretend that everything's okay. And we'll save that for another time. That probably will never come. Barry arrives. He conveniently waited a while to show up here.
He has a very special gift that he's prepared, but he doesn't want to say what it is. He can't reveal what it is. And so Kim has to direct him, well, the presents go in the present pile. So I understand that you have a very special gift because it's your gift to Lydia, but it needs to go in the proper pile. So I'll put my gift down on the floor if that makes it easier for you, but it needs to be over here in the pile with the rest of the gifts.
Because I got another big gift too. Isn't it so nice that they can get beyond the isn't it nice that they can get past the feelings they have towards one another and throw a combined birthday party for their baby girl?
We are here to show Lydia that we love her so much. All of the words that they use to describe what's going on and what they're explaining, the intention behind all of this, sounds great. If you just read a transcript of those interviews, you would think, wow, what a pair of loving, supportive parents. Everything that you see, all of the actions and interactions that happen between them at the actual place are petty as fuck.
Well, it gets better because Lydia arrives and she is shocked that they are throwing her birthday party and that she didn't have to be involved in planning it, because usually she finds out about these things.
Well, usually she has to be the one to plan it and remind everyone it is her birthday, which technically she did do in the last scene. Something tells me this ain't the first time this has happened, because Lydia already knows, don't go into anything with expectations. It will only lead to disappointment. So the bar was set very, very, very low for Lydia's birthday. And what she was able to accept from Micah was an afterthought invite where Ethan and Mariah were already getting pizza. Do you want to go do that, I guess? That's how they got her here. And she jumped at that chance. She's like, I'll take whatever I can get at this point. If I get a slice of pizza out of this, I'll take it.
Like, actually, we forgot our wallets. Do you think you could pay?
Right. That's what we were going to get to.
No, Barry is like, aren't you glad we're throwing you this birthday party? We're doing it because we want to create good memories together. Because, you know, all the other kids, Mariah, Ethan, Micah, told us what horrible parents we were and how detrimental it was to them. So we're here creating positive memories together.
Again, a backhanded, slighted comment for everything. Because then that's not even the first one. Because Barry was talking about, I think Lydia had said something about big thanks for everybody involved. I'm so excited that everybody's here. She referred to a few people as like special guests because they don't live in the area. So that was what she was referring to. And Barry got shitty with that.
Well, because Kim's one of them.
Yes, because that means that he's just a run-of-the-mill guest. And so Lydia had to then backtrack on that. Well, no, I mean, you know, it's just because they're like from far away and I didn't expect it. Yeah. Whatever, Lydia.
He's going to make sure he gets to be the center of attention, and he has a plan for doing so.
Barry was wanting to make a memory. Now he's going to retell a memory that has also popped into his mind.
Very personal one that's very near and dear to his heart. The story of Lydia's birth, which he laughs throughout, and Kim looks on in horror and disassociates as she stares into the floor. Because
when he's just repeatedly talking about how Lydia was stuck in the birth canal, it was Kim's birth canal. And Kim takes personal offense to this because Barry really stole her thunder here, if we're talking about it that way. He was kind of taking credit for the birth story where Kim was doing a lot of that work.
Was he, though? He was telling it.
He didn't take credit for anything, but in Kim's mind, that was what was happening.
Because I don't recall him talking about how arduous the labor was, how difficult it was, that until the moment where he pushed her out.
Well, no, yeah.
What a moment, flooded with feelings of love.
It sounded like Barry did do some work because apparently he took a bite on his thigh from Kim.
Okay. He did not tell that story to everyone in the room. He waited. He was still talking about this to the camera guys outside and then gave this extra little tidbit that I feel like we didn't need to know. Also show us the scar.
Did he say it was a scar? Or he said it was a bruise. It was a bruise with teeth marks.
All
so
right.
Maybe it didn't leave a scar, but
I promise I won't bite you at any point if I go into labor.
Please don't. Okay.
Also, I'm not pregnant.
Yeah, good. Okay. So now it's gift time, and Barry has gifted Lydia with a shrubbery. Carly doesn't get the joke. It's okay. It's going on the Corey Strikes Back list.
Great.
It's already been starred on the list.
So they have been watching Monty Python together.
And the Holy Grail specifically. Yeah.
All right. And This is an inside joke, which Lydia finds so funny.
Hilarious. This is peak comedy for Lydia.
Kim's a little irritated because it's an inside joke, so that kind of sucks. But at the same time, she got a couple of plants from Barry. Wait till she opens my gift.
She was nervous at first because she could tell there was a bond, there's an inside joke, there's history here, there's a sentimental value to that. But Kim's trusting her gut here, and she's going with the big guns. She's got an electric violin for Lydia. It's technically from Mom and Amber, so it wasn't just me. I didn't go out and buy it.
And Amber?
Amber spent a lot of her hard-earned money on it, too.
Oh, my God. You're right. She made Amber help her pay for it.
I'm sure she had her
because
ship in.
Amber has a job. Otherwise, why wouldn't you say it's from the little girls, too?
No. Yeah, it was from Mom and Amber specifically.
Wow. So what do you think? They went 50-50 on this thing? The rest of it is money that Kim saved from living at Ken's house?
80-20.
80-20.
And the rest was beer money.
Wow.
Monetarily, she did outdo Barry in this one.
Oh, of course she did.
But
well, she had help.
And also, yeah, she had to corral the funds. But also, Kim delivers her own backhanded comment where the reason why she got Lydia an electric violin is just anything to not hear you play violin more.
Thanks.
Which that's always reassuring.
That's the kind of loving comment that I wanted from my mom when I opened my birthday gift.
Big support.
Great memory. Great memory we're replacing the old ones with.
So now Mama Plath has an announcement that she's making. I thought she was talking about a duck tank, like a tank for ducks or full of ducks. And I was confused.
A dunk tank.
Right. Dunk tank. It made more sense when they showed it.
You know, Barry's like, what is going on here between the electric violin and the dunk tank? He's like, I know I did not put that much money in that bank account.
Yeah, I don't know where she's coming up with this stuff.
Ken paid for it.
Ku Klux Ken is coming through clutch on the birthday gift funds.
I loved this idea, though, because they're going to have the opportunity to dunk Kim into a bunch of freezing cold water.
Did you see Barry's face, though, when they were walking out there? Because they have to usher everybody outside where it's been pouring down rain outside. It's not a nice day, but they're still going through with this because Kim wore her bathing suit under her clothes. She's just like...
I think she's always got a bathing suit on under her clothes.
Life preserver. She's got all the stuff.
She could fall overboard at any point.
She's ready, is where we're getting at. But Barry is so confused. He's looking at Lydia and he's like, isn't this weird? This is weird.
Well, it's because Kim has to prove that she's a fun, cool mom. She's so much more fun than Barry is. Barry doesn't have a fun surprise like this for you all.
And Lydia is so sugary sweet. She's caught in the middle and she's just ping-ponging back and forth to whichever parent has said something to her last. She's trying to make them feel like they're the most important parent to her.
Great. Love that we were going to have to manage our parents' emotions at our own birthday party here.
That's, of course, what she's got to do.
This was okay until they started showing Kim's feet. I had to see them barefoot in a bathroom, a public restroom earlier this season, and now she's just wading them around in the water.
Wiggling the toes, spreading around all of that public bathroom goodness around there in the water that you're going to dunk right into here. At least nobody else went up after her. Nobody else was crazy enough to jump on board to offer this up. But she's passing around the bucket. $5 for a throw here. So I think we're getting a pretty good birthday pool going for...
She's trying to get the money back on that gift.
I think that's what's going on here. Yeah, she's going to pocket some of that. She's trying to make a profit here.
Also, who brought cash with them?
Not Barry. He only brought a shrubbery.
Luckily, these kids have never played...
It's called baseball.
Oh, I was going to say professional sports, and I was like, professional sports. Organized sports. So all of them are missing the dunk tank target, one after another. Even the ones you think might be good at it.
There were a few, I don't know if Mariah intentionally missed. She came close, though. So I don't know if there was just a part of her that really wanted to make that happen, and she almost did. But then she held back.
Those little hollow bird bones. She wasn't going to sling that ball that far.
She got to whipping. It got in there. It was pretty close. Ethan was close too.
Micah went straight over the back of that thing.
Micah was
way too high.
Just a bit outside. A little high. But then he got serious. He took his jacket off, and you knew it's about to happen.
Hope he didn't miss a call from Veronica while his phone was in there.
We got to get him a Bluetooth headset.
So he is the one who does finally dunk her, right? Finally makes contact.
It happened. So then she has to threaten that she's going to hug him while she's all wet and stuff. But she can't catch Micah. He's got way more foot speed than her.
I know. She's pretty good without her shoes on.
He's juking and jiving. He got out of there pretty quick. But then she's trying to get Barry to go up next. And he's like, I saw you wiggling your toes in there. I'm not going in there.
I wanted Barry to do it. Of course he didn't, but that's not just proven again. He's not as fun as me. He hasn't loosened up as much as Mom has.
Barry is cold-blooded. If he goes into that water, he would be in a coma.
Can't take the risk. Medical emergency. He's just morally superior also, because he wouldn't even throw one of the balls. He's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to dunk her.
I'll leave that to my sons.
I'll leave that to my attorneys.
Pretty much.
That's pretty much it. That's where we left them this episode. And I enjoyed it.
It was a good one.
Next episode, while Micah and his girlfriend embrace their future together, Ethan returns to the farm and gets real about some of the ways he and Olivia went wrong. Mariah talks music and heartbreak with her bestie. Olivia and Lydia Grace host a sex ed party.
And it looked like one of Micah's friends was in attendance, one of his LA friends, right?
Yeah, that was weird. It was like, we know you.
To be.
See, central casting. You think that we forget. We remember all these characters.
That dude, come on. Recurring role.
Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the podcast and leaving a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify.
Be sure to chat with us about the episode on our Discord channel by joining our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod.
Stay tuned, share with friends. See you next time.
To everyone else, this is a desk. But to you, it's a launch pad. Your starting block. This ain't a desk. This is opportunity.
Students who switch and save can get the Moto G5G on us at your local Boost retailer.
The Boost mobile network includes roaming coverage from partner networks, which cover 99% of the U.S. population. Moto G5G on us when you switch with ID verification and new $60 plan activation. Taxes extra. All prices, fees, features, functionality, and other offers are subject to change without notice. See participating dealers for details.
Hi, this is Paige from Giggly Squad, and I want to talk to you about Splash Refresher and my water intake. Okay, so you guys obviously know that I'm a hydrated girly, but sometimes when you drink that much water, it starts to just taste bland, and you're just like, I need something to spice it up. That's why I love Splash Refresher. It has 0 sugar, 0 calories, and it's a splash of sweetness. And they come in 5 different flavors. They're so good. Wild berry, acai grape, pineapple mango, lemon, and mandarin orange. My favorite is the wild berry because I just love a berry. So if you're like me and you're drinking water all day, then try Splash Refresher. It's going to absolutely change your water game, and it's good for you.
Discover Hydro, the best kept secret in fitness. Hydro is the state-of-the-art at-home rower that engages 86% of your muscles, delivering the ultimate full-body workout in just 20 minutes. From advanced to beginner, Hydro has over 500 classes, shot worldwide and taught by Olympians and world-class athletes. For a 30-day risk-free trial, go to hydro.com and use code ROW450 to save $450 on a Hydro Pro rower. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW450.